Good evening. You're watching the news tonight, your daily roundup of all that has happened across India and the world. I'm Ishan Russell, and first up, the headlines we're tracking right now. Prime Minister Narendra Modi hard sells his government's successes in front of a huge crowd in Mathura, counts the fight against corruption as his biggest achievement. The opposition goes all out to counter the government's claims. Congress calls Modi government out on its claim of improved economy. Arvind Kejriwal lodged the High Court's decision allowing Delhi's Anti-Corruption Bureau to arrest central police officials, raise his pitch for full statehood at a public rally to celebrate 100 days in office. Intense heat wave sweeps across the country, over 500 killed so far. Telangana and Andhra Pradesh the worst hit states with over 400 deaths. And in a major crackdown on human traffickers, Malaysian authorities unearthed over 130 mass graves, also identified 28 human trafficking camps. Our top story this evening, Prime Minister Narendra Modi marked 1 year of his government with a mega rally in Mathura today. Addressing his supporters, Modi chose to not only list out his government's achievements and successes of the past year, but also hit out at the previous Congress-led regime.
बुरे दिन गए कि नहीं गए, बुरे काम बंद हुए कि नहीं हुए, बुरे कारनामे बंद हुए कि नहीं हुए.
Saying that Achhe Din are finally here for Indians, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said it was time for the corrupt to be scared. Counting the fight against corruption as one of his achievements, Modi also attacked the UPA government for the scams it was embroiled in. Modi also sought the public's support over the next 4 years for finishing the work he has started.
आप मुझे बताइए, अगर आपने ये सरकार न चुनी होती और वही सरकार रहने दी होती तो देश का हाल बदला होता, परिवर्तन आया होता. आप मुझे बताइए, पिछले साल जब यूपीए की सरकार थी, देश के हाल बुरे थे कि नहीं थे.
Reaching out to the poor and farmers, Modi told the assembled crowd that his government had already done a lot for them. He said that now it was time to put all the words into action.
किसान को अच्छी जमीन बने, समय पर पानी मिले, जरूरत पर बिजली मिले, उसे चाहिए अच्छे बीज चाहिए, सस्ते बीज चाहिए. फसल एक बार बोने के बाद अगर बीज बुरा निकल गया तो उसका तो साल खराब हो जाता है. उसके लिए सरकार ने आधुनिक विज्ञान का उपयोग करते हुए ये पक्का किया है कि किसान को सही कीमत पर, सही समय पर, सही बीज उपलब्ध हो.
BJP has planned nearly 200 public rallies by its main leaders across the country to mark the first year of the NDA government, and the Prime Minister's Mathura rally was just the first. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Meanwhile, Finance Minister Arun Jaitley on Monday asked the taxmen to squeeze the parallel economy, though in a fair manner, assuring the honest taxpayer that they have nothing to fear under the new black money law. He also said that improvement in tax collection would increase the government's ability to step up spending on social and infrastructure projects, providing relief to individual taxpayers.
Finance Minister Arun Jaitley has promised a reasonable compliance window under the new black money law for persons with unaccounted funds stashed abroad. Defaulters can declare assets through a compliance window and pay a penalty tax of 60%.
Evasion has to be checked. The parallel economy has to be squeezed. And yet it has to be done in a very fair manner, not in a harsh manner.
Jaitley added that improvement in tax collection will help step up spending on social and infrastructure projects and provide relief to individual taxpayers.
Even if there are larger collections, we'd like to see those being invested in areas of infrastructure, in areas of irrigation, in the social sectors, so that that is able to bring larger dividends back to the economy.
Finance Minister also asserted that for the current fiscal, direct tax collection may improve by 14 to 15%, and there was a possibility that the fiscal deficit target could be improved upon. But he also said that the government's priority is to increase spending on social sector schemes instead of refining the fiscal deficit target. Kriti Mishra, Rajya Sabha TV.
Rejecting the NDA government's claims on its achievements in the last 1 year, the Congress-led opposition's counter-campaign to highlight its failures. Former Finance Minister P. Chidambaram pointed out several areas in the economy which have not performed well during this period. Other parties too stamped the government for failing to fulfill some of its key poll promises.
At a time when the NDA is busy highlighting its achievements at the end of 1 year in office, opposition is leaving no stone unturned to counter the claims. One of the key points argued by the government is the improving health of economy, something that has been challenged by the principal opposition party, Congress. Jaitley's predecessor P. Chidambaram pointed out some of them on Monday.
And I don't see how that vision is being translated into specific policies. And I don't see how those policies are being broken down into specific programs and being implemented.
He also said that high prices of consumer durables is still a cause of concern.
While retail inflation has indeed come down, there are at least 3 dals and 4 or 5 vegetables and milk where there is a considerable price rise hurting the average family.
Other political parties also question the government for failing to live up to its poll promises.
समाधान कहीं है ही नहीं, सिर्फ है न ढोल पीटा जा रहा। अब ढोल पीटने से कैसे मना करें हम? लेकिन कोई जो कहा था उन्होंने एक बात है जो इसका समाधान निकला। सबसे बड़ी विकट समस्या तो बेकारी बेरोजगारी।
Opposition parties have planned to hold a number of press conferences and rallies in the run-up to the first anniversary of the Modi government. The aim is to highlight the failure of the government in last 1 year. Vishal Dahiya's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
And the NDA government's 1 year in office marks some important changes in the economic field. The government was able to turn around the economy and contain price rise and pass some important legislations. Now, as per the latest data released this month, the centre has also been able to contain the fiscal deficit and revenue deficit a little below the budget targets. Now, here's a look at how the government performed to revive a lagging economy in the past 1 year.
There was a general environment of gloom. उसके स्थान पर एक उत्साह का माहौल देश में बना है।
Finance Minister's confident words were based on the fact that the new government was able to change the perception of policy paralysis during the last leg of UPA-2 regime. A fact that was also recognized by credit rating agencies and US President Barack Obama, who hailed Prime Minister Narendra Modi for shaking up India's bureaucratic inertia.
Decisiveness, even in the face of obstructionism, has been an important hallmark as far as this government is concerned.
The Finance Minister's charge of obstructionism was rebutted by principal opposition party Congress. Jaitley's predecessor P. Chidambaram squarely blamed BJP during the UPA-2 regime for stalling key legislations.
In fact, it was Mr. Arun Jaitley who in a speech in London and repeated on another occasion said, obstructionism is a legitimate parliamentary tactic. But we are not obstructing. Did we obstruct the insurance bill? They obstructed the insurance bill for 5 successive sessions.
However, in terms of certain economic conditions, the NDA government seems to be fortune's favourite or plain lucky. Due to demand-supply situation, prices of crude oil fell from a high of $110 a barrel to $50 to $60 a barrel in just 6 months last year. It had a dramatic impact on inflation and government finances, particularly high current account deficit. Wholesale inflation fell to minus 2.65% in April this year, as against a high of over 5.5% during the same month last year. To its credit, the government successfully conducted auction proceeds for coal mines, which are expected to be over 3.5 lakh crore rupees, and for telecom spectrum it is around 1.1 lakh crore rupees. On legislative front, NDA was able to pass insurance bill to increase FDI cap in the sector to 49%. Amendments to Companies Bill of 2014, Black Money Bill, and also the Coal Mines Bill and the Mines and Minerals Development and Regulation Bills. However, 2 crucial bills, one on land acquisition and another on a common goods and services tax, are still stuck.
We have brought both seats on board. The Lok Sabha has cleared it.
It's before the Rajya Sabha. I hope it should be cleared very soon.
While expressing the support for the GST bill, Congress accused the government of bypassing the parliament.
The members of parliament felt that this is an important constitutional amendment. It deserves to go to a standing committee. All bills must go to a standing committee. In fact, it is this government which is bypassing the standing committee.
Government also extended reach of financial inclusion by opening over 15 crore basic bank accounts under Jan Dhan Yojana. More than 7 crore people subscribe basic pension services launched this month. But the situation may change this year, as India is staring at an unprecedented agrarian crisis on the back of unseasonal rains that destroyed rabi crops. Possibility of a weak monsoon complicates the problem. Crude prices have also firmed up by around 30% in last few months. Any delay in passing the crucial bills like GST may hurt the investor sentiment and evaporate early gains. Puts from Vishal Daya, Krishnan Tripaঠি's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Time now for a quick break. Coming up on the other side, the CBSE Class 12 results are out. Once again, the girls have outshone the boys. More on that on the other side.
One of the key areas which is under scrutiny at the end of 1 year of NDA rule is economy. What have been the initiatives and achievements in this area? Has the economy been on upturn? Where is it heading? Watch the big picture at 9:30 p.m. on Rajya Sabha TV.
Hello and a very warm welcome to a brand new edition of World Panorama with me, Frank Pereira.
Barack Obama has been elected on the basis that I will no longer take America into wars, and in fact quite the opposite, I will pull America out of wars.
According to the Indian government, fishermen are not at fault.
The US intervention in Iraq set the stage for exacerbation of these conflicts, and then the intervention in Syria.
Watch World Panorama at these times on Rajya Sabha television.
Welcome back. You're watching the news tonight. Now, the AAP government held a public rally in the national capital to celebrate its 100 days in office, buoyed by a High Court judgment today allowing the capital's Anti-Corruption Bureau to arrest central police officials. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal raised the pitch for full statehood for Delhi.
The Delhi government organized a public rally called Jan Samvad in the national capital on Monday to highlight its work in the first 100 days in office. As thousands gathered in the sweltering heat at the iconic Central Park in Connaught Place, the Delhi High Court provided a boost for the Aam Aadmi Party in its ongoing tussle with the Lieutenant Governor and the centre over transfer and appointments of bureaucrats. The court ruled that Delhi's Anti-Corruption Bureau has the jurisdiction to arrest Delhi police officials. Earlier, a notification issued by the Home Ministry had barred the ACB to take action against central government officials. Addressing the rally, Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal was quick to hail the ruling.
दिल्ली हाई कोर्ट ने आदेश दिया है कि केंद्र सरकार को और गृह मंत्रालय को एंटी करप्शन ब्रांच, दिल्ली की जो एंटी करप्शन ब्रांच है, उसके मामले में दखल अंदाजी देने का कोई अधिकार नहीं है.
The rally was attended by members of Kejriwal's cabinet. The new Chief Secretary K.K. Sharma and Principal Secretary Shakuntala Gamlin were also seen on the dais. Gamlin's appointment as acting Chief Secretary by the LG had triggered the ongoing power tussle. Aam Aadmi Party accused her of being a lobbyist for power companies. It also blamed the centre of trying to rule Delhi through the LG.
तो ये लड़ाई तो जारी रहेगी और मुझे उम्मीद है कि अगले 5 साल के अंदर जो दिल्ली के कई अधिकार केंद्र सरकार ने छीन रखे हैं, वो अधिकार हमें केंद्र सरकार से वापस लेने हैं. हम केंद्र सरकार से लड़ना नहीं चाहते, हमारी कोई लड़ाई नहीं है किसी के साथ, हम मिलकर काम करना चाहते हैं.
The Aam Aadmi Party government has called a special 2-day emergency session on Tuesday. They are expected to debate the long-standing demand for full statehood to ensure government's full control over matters related to the national capital.
आप नोटिफिकेशन के जरिए अनकॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल कदम उठाते हुए वो सब काम कर रहे हैं कि आपने कह दिया दिल्ली के चुने हुए मुख्यमंत्री और पूर्ण बहुमत की सरकार के पास एक क्लर्क की नियुक्ति तक का अधिकार नहीं है। ये नोटिफिकेशन जारी करके आप चुने हुए सीएम के मुख्यमंत्री के हाथ कमजोर करके एलजी को ताकत देते। तो मुझे लगता है ये जुमलेबाजी, ये इनके हर मुद्दे के ऊपर यू टर्न बहुत लंबा नहीं चलने वाला है। बिल्कुल हम बैठे हुए हैं इनको चुनौतियां देने की।
Aam Aadmi Party has also accused BJP of taking U-turn on the demand for full statehood. The party issued a statement claiming that BJP had promised it during its manifesto for Delhi's assembly poll in 2013 and Lok Sabha polls last year. With inputs from Anu Diwan, Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Now, more than 500 people have lost their lives to the sweltering heat wave across the country. The mercury has touched unprecedented levels at many places. The Met Department has warned that the heat wave will continue this week and the monsoon would only provide respite after the 30th of May.
As the temperature soared past 45 degrees, the Met Department has predicted the severe heat conditions to continue this week. The searing heat wave has taken the maximum toll on southern states of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, where the number of casualties has risen to 470, with the total crossing 500 nationwide. The Met Department has issued a severe heat wave warning for all 10 districts of Telangana for the next 3 days.
Heat wave is still continuing in both states, particularly Telangana and coastal Andhra Pradesh. So, highest temperature recorded Tuni, that is 47.2. Next, Jangamaheswaram 46.8. So, it will further continue today and tomorrow also. Most probably the heat wave will continue. After that, we will get some relief. So, coastal AP, Rayalaseema, Telangana will get some rain. So, temperature may fall 3 to 4 degrees.
तो दिल्ली का देखते हैं तो कल सफदरजंग में जो हमारी ऑब्जर्वेटरी है वहाँ तापमान 43.5 रिकॉर्ड हुआ था। पालम ऑब्जर्वेटरी में 44 के आसपास तापमान रिकॉर्ड हुआ है। अभी भी संभावना ये है कि अगले 3 दिनों तक तापमान में ज्यादा परिवर्तन नहीं आएगा।
Other parts of the country too are reeling under the summer heat. In Delhi, the maximum temperature was recorded at 43.5 degrees Celsius yesterday. The mercury in Uttar Pradesh too was high, with Allahabad touching 47.7 degrees Celsius, which was the hottest in the state. Rajasthan too did not get any respite from the blistering heat. 2 deaths were reported in Bundi district. Jaisalmer and Sri Ganganagar districts remain the hottest places, recording a maximum of 45.6 degrees Celsius. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Now, the Gujar community's statewide stir entered its 5th day today as they blocked NH11 passing through Rajasthan. Gujars are demanding 5% reservation in government jobs, saying it's their right. A round of talks with the ministers of the Rajasthan government on Saturday failed to resolve the issue, in turn leading to the Gujars intensifying their stir. Gujars are fighting to be reclassified in order to qualify for government jobs and university quotas that are reserved. The matter is sub judice before the Rajasthan High Court.
10 साल से जो हमारा मामला चल रहा है आरक्षण का, उसको सरकार कोई दोनों पार्टी हमारे साथ में धोखाबाजी कर रही है। जब तक हमारी मांगे पूरी नहीं होगी तो हम लगातार आंदोलन जारी रहेंगे।
हम शांत वातावरण से बैठे हैं, बैठेंगे जब तक हमारा हक नहीं मिलेगा। जब तक
आपने कितना रास्ता जाम किया है, किन लोगों को आपने छूट दी है आने जाने की?
यहाँ केवल कोई मरीज हो या कोई इमरजेंसी आदमी हो, बीमार हो, उसके लिए अलाउ है।
The CBSE Class 12 results were declared today. The overall pass percentage is 82%. That's marginally lower than last year. But the pass percentage of girls stood at a higher number than that of boys. M. Gayatri of New Greenfield School in Saket in Delhi is the topper. She scored 496 marks out of 500, a percentage of 99.2 rather. The board also announced that post-result counselling would begin next Monday and continue till the 8th of June. The results of Class 10 would be announced on the 27th of May. Prime Minister Narendra Modi congratulated all students who passed the examination.
CBSE Class 12 results have been declared today. There were 10.4 lakh candidates who appeared this year, which was 1.2% more than last year. The pass percentage of 2015 is 82%, which is marginally lower than that of last year.
मैं तो नॉर्मल स्टूडेंट की तरह ही पढ़ती थी, 5 से 6 घंटे एक दिन में, एंड रेगुलरली पढ़ती थी। नहीं, ऑल इंडिया का तो नहीं सोचा था बिल्कुल भी, सिर्फ 95 प्लस का था।
For all the other national stories, let's take you nationwide. The DMK has decided to file an appeal against Tamil Nadu Chief Minister J. Jayalalitha's acquittal in the DA case in Supreme Court. In a statement issued today, Party Supremo M. Karunanidhi said the Supreme Court has twice said that DMK has the right to participate in the proceedings in this case. Earlier this month, the Karnataka High Court acquitted Jayalalitha in the case, paving her way for a return as the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu after 8 months. The National Green Tribunal has extended the stay on its order banning diesel vehicles of over 10 years old in Delhi NCR till the 13th of July. The Green Panel has now listed the matter for final hearing on that day while asking the Centre of the Delhi government to file their reply within 3 weeks on the reasons for non-compliance of its earlier order. Earlier this month, the NGT had pulled up the centre for seeking a stay on the ban order. Maoists torched 32 vehicles in Bihar today during a shutdown called by the group. Around 8 Maoists dressed in security personnel uniforms stopped vehicles on National Highway 2 and set them ablaze. The shutdown has been called in protest against state police and CRPF killing one of the rebels on the 17th of May. Militants today struck at 2 places in Kashmir, killing a civilian and injuring 3 others, including a Jawan. Militants first fired at the franchisee of BSNL at Iqbal Market in Sopore. One of the BSNL workers died while 3 more were injured. In the second attack, militants fired on the patrol party of the Indian Army in Kulgam area, South Kashmir. 1 soldier was injured in the incident. Well, we'll slip into another quick break. Coming up on the other side, all the international news. Iraq vows to wrest control of Ramadi from Islamic State militants as the US questions its forces for lack of will. More on that on the other side.
One of the key areas which is under scrutiny at the end of 1 year of NDA rule is economy. What have been the initiatives and achievements in this area? Has the economy been on upturn? Where is it heading? Watch the big picture at 9:30 p.m. on Rajya Sabha TV.
प्रेम के तमाम रूपों का संगम है मजरू सुल्तानपुरी।
लेके पहला पहला जब दिल ही टूट गया पत्थर के सनम बचना ए हसीनो पापा कहते हैं आई लव यू जानम समझा करो।
उनकी नजर उनका शहर में मिली इस बार मजरू सुल्तानपुरी से।
Welcome back, you're watching the news tonight. Now, in a major crackdown on traffickers, Malaysian police forces have found mass graves suspected to be that of migrants. 139 graves have been found in human trafficking camps along the Malaysia-Thailand border. Forensic experts on the scene are still trying to figure out the number of bodies buried out there.
139 suspected migrant graves, 28 human trafficking camps unearthed near the Thai-Malaysian border. Shocking revelations after a major crackdown by Malaysian police on traffickers following the Asian migrant crisis. Police suspect that each grave could contain more than one body.
We have discovered 139 which we believe to be graves. We don't know what are underneath. The first team has gone in this morning, our forensic and medical team, to exhume whatever remains there, conduct post-mortem on those remains which we found to get to the cause of death.
Malaysian President Najib Razak has ordered an investigation to hunt down human traffickers. The International Organization for Migrants meanwhile claims that since the Thai crackdown on smugglers and traffickers, several people have been seen roaming in the forests. The organization has also rescued some from the detention camps, most afflicted with diseases.
We will investigate, and we will not condone anybody, including Malaysian officials.
Southeast Asia is facing a humanitarian crisis. as thousands of migrants from Bangladesh and Myanmar are stranded on boats in the open sea, looking out for a new country to settle in. Unfortunately for them, most are at the mercy of smugglers and human traffickers. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
For the other international news, this is Global Buzz. Iraqi Prime Minister Haider al-Abadi today asserted that the country will take back Ramadi soon. His statement came a day after the US Defense Secretary Ash Carter said that Iraqi forces lack the will to fight the Islamic State militants at Ramadi. Senior Iraqi officials also criticized the US for the remarks. Abadi also sought more support from the international coalition to tackle the IS menace. At least 3 people were killed and 15 others were reportedly injured in an explosion in Pakistan's Balochistan province. The attack reportedly targeted a motorcade of the son of Pakistan President Mamnoon Hussain late on Sunday. No group has claimed responsibility for the attack so far. Polish President Bronisław Komorowski has conceded defeat in the country's presidential election after exit polls predicted victory for his rival Andrzej Duda by 6 percentage points. If so, Poland will replace its conservative head of state with the more right-wing Law and Justice Party. The final results are expected later today. Nobel laureate mathematician John Nash and his wife were killed in a car crash in the US late on Sunday. Nash was 86 years old. Nash's life, his severe mental illness and eventual recovery became the subject of a book and Oscar-winning film titled A Beautiful Mind. And with all the sports action, this is Sports Beat. The BCCI has yet to finalize who will coach the Indian cricket team as a replacement for Duncan Fletcher. There are reports that former Indian captain Sourav Ganguly is being considered for the role. However, BCCI Secretary Anurag Thakur said no final decision has been taken yet. Thakur is expected to meet with board President Jagmohan Dalmia to discuss the matter. The South African cricket team will tour India in October this year. BCCI today announced venues for the 2-month tour. Ahmedabad, Delhi, Nagpur and Bangalore will host the Test series. Chennai, Kanpur, MPCA, Rajkot and Mumbai will host the 5 one-day internationals. The 3 2020 matches will be played in Kolkata, Mohali and Dharamsala. Pakistan pulled off a sensational last-over win in the second 2020 international against Zimbabwe to win the series 2-0. Chasing a target of 176, Pakistan needed 12 runs of the last over. Tail-ender Bilawal Bhatti hit a 6 and a 4 to help his team chase the target with 2 balls to spare. Both teams now will play 3 one-day internationals. Triumphant Indian boxers returned home today after a successful outing in the Doha International Boxing Tournament. India bagged 4 golds, 1 silver and 2 bronze medals at the event. Commonwealth Games silver medalists L. Devendra Singh, Shiva Thapa, Manish Kaushik and Manoj Kumar won the gold medals. Well, that's the news tonight. Good night.